It begins not with a bang, not with a flash of light or a grand discovery shouted from mountaintops, but with silence, a whisper in the data, a faint, nearly forgotten flicker hiding in the folds of an old celestial survey. 12 light-years away, practically next door if you consider the vastness of the cosmos, a tiny star quietly circled through the night sky, unseen by human eyes for centuries. And only recently did we even notice. Its name is Teegarden star. It's not bright, it won't steal the show in any telescope. But what it lacks in brilliance, it makes up for in mystery. Because orbiting this small, dim ember of a star are two worlds, two real, confirmed planets, and they are unlike anything we expected to find so close to home. They sit in a place where life as we know it could take root, not in some distant galaxy, not in a dream or a fable, but here, nearby, waiting. Think about that when you stare up at the sky on a cold night, maybe from a rooftop or a quiet field. The light from those stars is often hundreds, even thousands of years old. But Teegarden star is different. Its light left just 12 years ago. A child born the day that light departed would barely be a teenager now. In the language of stars and space, that's practically touching distance. And around this star, small, steady, ancient, two rocky worlds revolve, each potentially offering the single most precious thing we search for beyond Earth, the conditions for life. It wasn't meant to be found, not at first. Back in 2003, Bernard Teegarden and his team weren't looking for new stars. They were reviewing asteroid data, checking for rocks that might wander a bit too close to our planet. But something strange emerged from the noise, an object moving faster than expected across the sky, like a ghost caught in motion. It wasn't an asteroid. It was a star, one that had been hiding in plain sight, so faint that no one had noticed. They hadn't looked in the right way. That moment, buried in satellite archives and silent spreadsheets, became the start of a journey that would stretch into the farthest corners of imagination. Because Teegarden star, for all its quiet, hosts not just one, but two planets with the kind of credentials that set hearts pounding in observatories across the world, the kind that whisper, *, maybe we're not alone. The first is Teegarden B. It orbits its star at a distance so close it would seem impossible, just under 4 million kilometers away, less than a tenth of the distance between Mercury and our Sun. And yet it's not scorched or blistered. That's because Teegarden star burns cooler, slower, more gently than our own. Its fire is dim but enduring, like a candle that never dies out. And in that flickering warmth, Teegarden B finds itself in the so-called habitable zone, where temperatures could just possibly allow water to exist as a liquid, water, the silent architect of life. If it's there, it changes everything. Teegarden B is about the same mass as Earth, just a hair heavier. That matters. It means the gravity might feel familiar, that the planet might be able to hold on to an atmosphere, that it might, just might, be more like our world than any we've found so far. Imagine standing on such a planet, the sky above dim and reddish, the sun a mere ember suspended in the heavens. But the ground solid beneath your feet, the wind brushing across ancient stones, the potential for oceans, rivers, clouds. It spins quickly, years last less than 5 Earth days. But time wouldn't feel the same, not there. If it's tidally locked, one half of the planet is always bathed in daylight, the other trapped in eternal night. And in between, a thin band of twilight, a narrow strip of possible calm between two extremes. A place of eternal dusk where temperatures balance just enough to whisper of rain and breeze, perhaps even forests or fields, if nature dared. But we don't know. That's the haunting truth. We're still just guessing, based on gravity and distance, light and math. No telescope has yet pierced its skies. No probe has yet skimmed its clouds. We don't know what it smells like. We don't know what it sounds like. But that space between knowing and not knowing, that's where wonder lives. And Teegarden B exists firmly in that space. And then there's Teegarden C, a little farther out, a little colder, a little quieter. It orbits more slowly, an 11-day year, still a blink of an eye compared to our own. But its location near the outer edge of the habitable zone hints at a different kind of potential. It might not be warm, but if it has the right kind of atmosphere, something thick and rich, it could trap just enough heat to melt ice, to stir winds, to give rise to lakes hidden beneath the surface. Maybe it's not a planet of flowers and skies, but of ice and silence, where life sleeps beneath the crust. If Teegarden B is the dream of a second Earth, Teegarden C is the mystery of a shadowed world, a place that may hold life not in sunlight, but in secret. 2 planets. 2 chances. 2 echoes in the void orbiting a star so small we missed it for generations. And they're right next door. It's strange to think that somewhere out there, only 12 light-years away, there could be another sky, not just stars in blackness, but a real sky, one tinted red or orange, lit by a star that never blazes, only glows. Maybe clouds drift across that alien horizon. Maybe they carry rain. Maybe they fall over mountain ranges, valleys, oceans, all hidden to us by distance and time. Teegarden B may not look exactly like Earth, but what if it feels like home in ways we can't yet imagine? There's a chance, however small, that right now on that faraway world, a drop of water is sliding down a rock warmed by a dim sun. That in the thin half-light of its twilight zone, something ancient stirs beneath the soil. That life, fragile, tenacious, miraculous, has found a way to exist there, clinging to warmth and shadow, surviving in a world where day and night never move. Scientists believe Teegarden B is likely tidally locked. And this alone opens a door to 1,000 questions, one side of the planet burning with constant starlight, the other trapped in an endless, frozen midnight. No sunrise. No sunset. Just permanence. Harsh, unyielding, and yet fascinating. Because life doesn't need perfect symmetry. Life finds its own rhythms. It endures. It adapts. In that narrow belt between day and night, the twilight ring, it's possible the conditions settle into something more familiar. Not paradise, but not uninhabitable either. It's here in this uncertain strip of dusk where you might walk with your own shadow stretching behind you forever, noon, no dawn, just endless golden hour. The temperature might hover around the edge of comfort, not too cold, not too hot. The winds might flow endlessly from light to dark, creating cycles and currents. Maybe lakes dot the horizon, maybe grasses of strange colors bend gently in the alien breeze. We don't know. But doesn't your heart ache to find out? Even the way we found this world is a story in itself, not through pictures, not by sight, but by listening, by measuring the tiny gravitational tugs the planet makes on its star, the subtle rhythmic dance between planet and parent, like watching ripples on a pond and guessing at what lies beneath. Teegarden B revealed itself not with spectacle, but with patience, as if it was waiting for us to notice. And yet, it is still only half the story, because farther out, deeper in the cold, orbits Teegarden C. If Teegarden B is the promise of warmth, of potential oceans and golden twilight, then Teegarden C is something else entirely, a world more reserved, more distant, not because of its physical location but because of what it represents, possibility wrapped in mystery. Habitability, perhaps not on the surface, but underneath. It's colder there, much colder. The star's light barely reaches it with any strength. If you were to stand on its frozen surface, it might feel like the dead of winter in the most isolated corner of Earth. The kind of cold that silences everything, where the air feels still and ancient. But cold doesn't mean lifeless. Beneath miles of ice, there could be water. Beneath water, heat. And with heat and water together, life becomes possible once again. We've seen this before, not in other galaxies, but here in our own solar system. Moons like Europa and Enceladus show signs of hidden oceans under their crusts, oceans kept warm not by sunlight but by internal forces, tidal stress, geothermal heat, complex chemistry. Teegarden C could be another example. Maybe it's not a surface world, but a world that hides its secrets deep within. And if that's true, then what lives there might not need light the way we do. It might thrive in darkness, glowing faintly from within or feeding off minerals and chemical gradients. It might resemble nothing we've ever imagined, or maybe it's eerily familiar. Primitive. Microbial. Ancient. What's both beautiful and heartbreaking.